Hello, and welcome to Charts and Hearts. I'm Sarah, and she's Lindsay.
And together we're working our way through an epic list of rom-coms in order to find and categorize tropes in the hopes of creating the nerdiest spreadsheet podcasts I've ever seen.
And it's June, so we figured we would celebrate Pride everywhere except for Vancouver. And we're doing In and Out from 1997. And also, I should clarify, Vancouver. It's Pride all year round. We do celebrate Pride. It's just in August.
Yes, that makes it sound like we don't celebrate Pride. No. Our Pride Day / celebration was created before Pride Month was designated, which is why it's confusing.
Yes, so
anyway, we still celebrate
our big Pride is in like the beginning of August. So yes, and also Vancouver is full of Pride all year round.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
as opposed to
this movie. Oof. Yeah. Had you seen this before?
Oh yeah, tons of. We're huge Kevin Kline people.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had you seen it before?
Yes.
Okay.
But not for a really long time.
No, I hadn't seen it, I think, probably since the 90s. It was one of those ones where we really enjoyed it, but my dad was mad because he's a boomer.
Yeah.
Which a lot of that is not his fault. And also Kevin Kline is in his favorite Western of all time, so it's like extra, not offensive, but like squidgy.
Or like, yeah. Just like, he finds it hard to like connect this Kevin Kline to that Kevin Kline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think they put Tom Selleck in this movie on purpose to make old men feel that way. Because it's like, whoa, Magnum's gay and he doesn't have a mustache. Oh my God. Your entire world has been turned upside down.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, this it's interesting because it's like so first of all, it's directed by Frank Oz, which is so weird.
I know.
Don't like actually know the actual sexuality of any of these people, but like Kevin Kline's married to a woman. I have no idea about Frank Oz, but I don't think of him as like a gay icon other than just like
other than just being Miss Piggy,
being an icon. Yeah. And yeah, so it's like it was this very big budget gay movie in the 90s with basically very few or no gay people involved in making it, at least at the top. Like, I mean, I think the writer is, but I don't know. I didn't actually look into it at all because it's not really, it doesn't matter, but it's a gay movie for straight people.
Exactly. Yes.
Or like a queer movie
which
for straight people. Yeah.
Is partially the stuff I'm going to talk about is what Will and Grace is.
Yes.
And that's what the 90s is. Not all of the 90s. There are very gay movies for gay people in the 90s. But in the late 90s, when you look at this and compare it to what Will and Grace was,
it's very much the same thing of like, very particular kinds of people are acceptable to be gay on television and in the movies.
Yes.
Yeah. And that would be, like white men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an article we'll put in the show notes. It is from 2017. So like all the stuff they've written about the past is still accurate. It's just like when they talk about recent things, it's not super recent. Anyway, it's incredibly good. It has amazing stuff about movie history and like how before basically proto FCC came in, there were more gay things than you would expect, like men kissing in war movies and stuff. And then the 50s happened and it was all a mess. And then then it kind of waffled back and forth. Anyway, it's very interesting and talks like this is where I got like the Will and Grace stuff of like and the Birdcage was another huge example and makes total sense of like the Birdcage is a movie again. Nathan Lane is gay, but like Robert Williams was not. But so it's one of those like it's safe. Yeah, the gay people in this movie can't hurt you. Yeah, is basically what it is.
Yeah, and then even the more like realistic or like darker ones in the 90s. Yeah, like as I'm scrolling through this thing, I'm like, oh yeah, Philadelphia. Like that was another one of like, it was. I mean, I don't know how real it was, but it was very dramatic and very intense. But you know, it was still Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
It wasn't. So again, it's like it was representation in terms of the story, but it's also like I don't know. Like I think we've gotten to more of a place, and it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but of people telling their own stories.
Yes, as opposed to what this is.
Yeah, for sure what this is. And so even though, and like I've, got mixed opinions, and I think it's a complicated issue of like gay actors playing straight and straight actors playing gay. Like, and I've heard, actually I saw somebody who was gay talk about it, and they had like an interestingly nuanced thing. It was like, I don't want to say that only gay people should play gay characters. I think the right actor should play the right character. And that should also include gay people playing straight characters.
Exactly.
And getting the same, like, Oscar acclaim.
Well, it's one of those things of, like, if you say that, then it goes both ways, at least for people who
and it also gets into that, like, ooshy place of making people come out or be public about their personal life to get a job. And that's
exactly. And
really
that's
icky. Yeah. So that's why I was like trying to be careful of like, I don't like, none of the people involved in this are like open about their
sexuality.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's like a really quick plot summary.
You can lead in because you mentioned Philadelphia, and this is a story written because of Tom Hanks's Philadelphia Oscar speech, where
so
he publicly outed a teacher.
Yeah, he thanked a teacher who at least wasn't like fully publicly out. I'm not sure. The whole story, but so this is an actor who is Matt Dillon. Yeah, Matt Dillon, and he is like this small town actor, and he is not nominated for an Oscar. And wins it, and it's like when they show the clips of the movie, it's the worst.
It's like incredible.
And this is where I was like, okay, there must have been some at least like people who knew what was going on, because it was very much the like, oh, the only reason that you were nominated for this role was because you were straight playing gay. Yeah, because it was awful, like just that, like so overwrought and so ridiculous, like definitely intentionally hilarious. And then so he thanks his teacher, who's Kevin Kline's character, for like being such like a gay icon and whatever. And this guy's like engaged to be married to a woman and has never questioned his sexuality at all, and is like very comfortable in his like small town teacher life. Being married to a woman. And then because the actor guy is so famous, all these people come to town, blah blah blah. And then Tom Selleck sort of comes to town and decides to do like a profile of, will he actually get married to Joan Cusack's character? And it's then turns into an even worse hot mess, because like Joan Cusack's character has no friends, no support network, and like has based all of her self-worth on the fact that she lost a bunch of weight and then managed to get engaged. And so it like extra complicates his discovery, because then he's like destroying her self-worth. But like if he had discovered, like, realized that his like lack of attraction to women, like, and stayed with her, is that any better? Like it just becomes this whole thing. So Tom Selleck unconsensually kisses him on the side of the road, and then he does back out of his wedding. And what else happens at the end? Then he don't, like, get together at the end. He just like
but then he gets fired.
He gets fired, and
then at graduation everyone stands up for him, and Matt Dillon shows up, and
it's a big deal. And Joan Cusack gets together with like
Matt Dillon.
It's
a whole lot of problems.
I mean, at least he's no longer a student. And he is like a proper adult. It's not like
he's a proper adult.
He's like 20 something. And then I don't really like, it doesn't, there's like, the ending is just that everybody still in the town like comes to accept him, and they have a fun dance at the graduation.
It doesn't really
so like
solve.
Thankfully he doesn't get together with Tom Selleck, because that would have been weird. They just make out at the beginning, or like not at the beginning, but like before that,
unconsensually make out.
And then that's kind of it. So the biggest thing, like,
a lot of this movie, like, made me, like, actually, like, physically cringe and emotionally and all of that stuff. The biggest thing, and this is a similar thing, they talk about this in the article with Will and Grace, is that they don't talk about the sexuality part of being gay.
Yeah.
And they talk about the stereotypes of being gay in the 90s, and which is very, again, similar to Will and Grace, because Will, like, I haven't watched it in a while, but, like, very rarely goes out. He's there to be Grace's best friend. Yeah. And then Jack's there to be stereotypical.
Yeah, Jack's super flamboyant. Will is Grace's best friend, and, like, she has a confidant who is a man, but there's no sexual tension. And then he's also, like, very particular and very polished and very, like, fancy.
Yeah, he's
that sort of, and, like, this is kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, so Kevin Kline's character is super into Barbra Streisand and musicals and disco and all of that. And, like, so then everybody just kind of assumes that he is gay.
Yeah, so, like, nobody really talked about it, and then as soon as he's outed, everyone's like, oh, of course he's gay. He wears bow ties.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem, like, the point of this is that Tom Selleck is, like, talking to him about whether or not he's gay, and he's like, what is Barbra Streisand's 8th album? Yeah. And then he answers, which is actually incorrect, according to the trivia, which is always funny. And then Tom Selleck just looks at him and is like, of course you're gay. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, so, like straight people aren't allowed to like Barbra Streisand?
Like Barbra Streisand. And then asking, are you attracted to men? That literally never comes up.
Are you, like, have you ever been attracted to any men? Like, not just men in general.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
men in general,
just like
never comes up.
With straight people, guess what? Just because people are gay doesn't mean they're attracted to everybody.
Well, yeah, that's the whole problem.
The same gender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he doesn't ask him that. He doesn't say, he just unconsensually kisses him and then looks at him again and then walks away. Not, did that kiss do, like, anything for you?
Clarify anything, like, in your brain? Like,
was that in any way better than how you felt when you kissed Joan Cusack? Like, none of that. Nobody's asking him, why have you been engaged for 3 years and not had sex with your fiance? Yeah. Like, that's, everyone's like, what? But no, like, looking into it, like, sex does not come into this at all. A movie about sexuality.
No, it's just like, oh, I don't want to marry a woman, but it was nothing to do with, like, actual, like, sexual attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine, because I think there is a lot more to being gay than just who you have sex with and liking Barbra Streisand. Like, there's a whole plethora. Like, you can be anybody. You can have any interests.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah, it's not your one focus. Yeah. But it's more of as the gay guru role, Tom Selleck is not asking him the correct questions.
Yes.
And I'm just... Yeah, that part was really frustrating me.
But then, somehow by the end, I think just because Kevin Kline is extremely charming.
Extremely good at acting,
Yeah. He somehow pulls it together, and even though, like, now looking back, I'm like, I don't even actually know what the end was, other than you could just feel that he was accepting of himself and, like, was excited about, like, living his life and figuring out more who he is. Like, you just got that feeling, and because he's just good at acting. Yeah.
He's a really nice scene after the wedding with his dad, who's amazing, who's Wilford Brimley, that's his name, right? Yeah. Who, like, comes to his house and is like, so you're gay? And he's just, like, kind of, like, sitting there, like, obviously having this quiet reflection of, like, this is a thing that just happened to me, that I did to myself. And he's like, yep. And then his dad's like, are you going to start wearing dresses? And he's like, what? And then that was kind of it. And then his dad's, like, really nice and doesn't care. And so, like, that scene is really good because it shows him actually, like, processing.
Yeah.
And so I think that definitely helps with the evolution of him being like... Because then the story moves on to be not, I'm a gay man, it's more, the school is firing me because I'm a gay man. And it's a completely different plot, not, like, in, like, a weird left turn, but it, like, it goes nicely.
It becomes about that, not about him, which actually is probably, like, better, because then the whole town, like, has a reason to come out and like, the students and stuff have a reason to come and support him and stand up for him, which, like, if it had been just about him being gay, it would have been weird.
Yeah.
But because they have a reason to be like, oh, why did you fire our awesome teacher? Like, yeah. Okay, should we talk about all the side characters? Because there's a million
Yes,
of them.
because there's a million of them.
Yeah.
So, Matt Dillon, where he
Yes.
said, and his girlfriend is that model actress woman who's in things like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and other things where she plays a model actress woman.
Yes. Debbie Reynolds plays
Yes.
Kevin Kline's mom.
His mom.
Bob Newhart is the principal, I
Principal?
think? Yeah.
Yep. The high school kids, the three of them are, well, all four of them are very recognizable as high
Yes.
school kid actors from the 90s, but one of them is Sean Halstoy, who we just saw
in the pit. He was amazing.
in the pit, and it was
Yeah.
amazing to see him, and he was so
And-
good, and I loved it.
Yeah. And then Lauren Ambrose, who's gone on to do a million things,
Right,
notably
yeah,
6
she
Feet
was-
Under.
Yeah.
And as I'm like scrolling through, I just keep seeing more and more and more people that I recognize. Like June Squibb plays
Yep.
one of the cousins at the wedding.
Yeah,
Dan
that
Hedaya is a lawyer.
is in the fake movie. That really old lady who's not Betty White or the old lady from Wedding Singer, but the other old lady who's in all the 90s movies is in it.
Isn't that June Squibb? Or is
No,
it
I don't think so.
somebody else?
No, she's like really, really old. She
Yeah,
has a
June-
walker in this one.
Yeah, that might have been June Squibb. I can't remember.
I don't think so. Anyway,
Yeah, like just
and
so many people.
and Maureen's mom from Center Stage. I was trying to remember who she was.
Oh, is that J. Smith Cameron? Or is that somebody else?
Maybe
Oh, no, Deborah Rush, I think.
Deborah Rush. Yeah,
Yeah, but then
Maureen's mom.
J. Smith Cameron's in it too, also, who's in Severance. No.
Right.
Yeah, Severance. The family
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of
So, like, just so many people, and, like, lots of the theater kids in this go on to do all kinds of things. Like, it says, I think, like, 4 of them end up in 6 Feet Under at some point. Oh, yeah, because Alexandra Holden, she would look familiar if you saw her. Like, just so many people.
Yeah, and then because they do this whole thing with the Oscars,
Yeah.
there's Whoopi and
Yep.
Glenn Close is
Yep.
there, and then Jay Leno shows up because it's a 90s movie and he has to be in them. Those are the rules. But that's fun. Glenn Close just to like wear a fancy dress and pretend to be at the Oscars.
Yeah.
So that's nice for her.
Very fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's another fun thing about the Oscars is that at the end, he doesn't win Teacher of the Year because he's been fired, and everyone's all mad. And Matt Dillon shows up and he's like, "You fired him because he was gay," and he like gives this big speech, and then everybody does this "I am Spartacus" thing.
Yeah.
And it makes me cry, even though
No, you're so mad at the movie.
I'm so mad at this movie, and I'm like, why am I crying? And then Matt Dillon gives him an Oscar because he doesn't win Teacher of the Year. He gives him his Oscar, and everyone cries. But that's Kevin Kline's real Oscar.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Really funny.
Yeah.
I think, did he win for A Fish Called Wanda?
I think so. Which I have not seen.
Oh, it's
But I
incredible.
should watch. It's one of those, like, I don't know why I haven't seen it, but I just haven't.
Yep. Best supporting actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, okay, so we talked a little bit about Tom Selleck's character just kind of being awful, and, like, he is awful. But because of when this movie came out, I remember how I felt about Tom Selleck being Monica's boyfriend on Friends.
Yes.
And I really liked that character most of the time. At least when it was good, it was really good. So then I, like, remember how I felt about Tom Selleck when I first watched this movie, basically. So then I'm like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, like, otherwise, bleh. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, especially now. But yeah, that's it was just pure like he was having a renaissance.
Yeah,
that was
basically.
mostly Friends.
Yeah, they were like trying to get him into cool things. Yeah.
Yeah, but then and he was so good on Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the end there's a huge long dance scene over the credits and you can see him dancing and I was like, Matthew Perry taught you how to dance. That is 100% Chandler dance moves and it's really funny.
That is funny. Amazing. Any other like observations or comments?
I was just going to talk a little bit more about Joan Cusack because she's not only like the fat shaming is internal. So like she's the only one who really brings it up. Everyone's like, you lost so much weight. And that's a thing that people say and whatever, but it's all her and it's all based on her. Like she has no self-worth.
Yeah.
But the big thing that is external is that how everyone thinks she's over emotional when she comes out and yells after she's left at the altar because her fiance came out instead of saying I do. And everyone's like, oh my God. And then she runs away and nobody goes after her.
Yeah, like she has no friends in this town.
Yeah.
Like she has nobody.
Yeah, like her backstory is that her parents are dead, and so like Debbie Reynolds is now like her mom and stuff, but like Debbie Reynolds doesn't go after her. Nobody does.
Nobody. Like,
in this entire small town. She has no friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, of course that your entire self-worth is built up by this man.
Yeah.
And the fact that you lost 80 pounds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly frustrating. And I like that Matt Dillon shows up and is like, why did you lose all this weight? Like, it's not a great conversation anyway. And then at the end, he's feeding her Cheetos, which is funny, but also like, whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of also weird. But anyway, the whole point of like, I know this is a movie about a gay man, but women can have friends in movies.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, and I feel like her just jumping into like a weird relationship with Matt Dillon's character also isn't going to be a healthy thing for her, but yeah.
And like Kevin Kline goes after her and apologizes.
Yeah.
Because he likes her.
Because he does genuinely like enjoy her company and like her as a person, just not as a marriage partner.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things of like, we can't represent gay men in this movie, and we also are pretty bad at representing women in this movie, and also it's 100% white.
Yeah.
No, just like, sometimes the 90s, not so great.
Not so great.
Anyway.
Not so great. Okay, tropes time. Yeah, so
okay. So you think they don't get together at the end? I am unsure.
I think it's like left for, like, I don't think they're like together forever. I think they might end up hooking up, but like not in like a
true love kind of way.
Yeah, in a like friends with benefits kind of way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. We've got so many random cameos, so we talked about that.
Said. Yeah. Debbie Reynolds is obsessed with having a wedding.
Yes.
And so that's a lot of what's driving this wedding.
Yeah.
Basically, and like probably because of his feelings, and if she wasn't obsessed with it, they probably would have never gotten married. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, you know, he sort of was putting his mom off of nagging him about stuff by getting engaged, and then that only bought him so many years. And then, Matt Dillon has just like a terrible stereotype of a girlfriend. Yeah. And she's so whiny. Oh my God.
She's so whiny. But there's this funny scene where she goes to try and use the phone and she can't figure it out because it's a rotary phone. But I was like, you're 20 at least, and it's 1997. You know how to use a rotary phone.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I hope she's 20.
I hope she's 20. But even still, like, I knew how to use a rotary phone in 1997, and I was 13. So, anyway. There's a slight time jump in the epilogue because, so the big wedding that is the big dance scene is Debbie Reynolds and Wilford Brimley renew their vows, which is adorable.
Yes, it is cute.
And then everybody dances. So again, like you were saying, like, there's no actual end to this movie. Everybody's just happy and dancing. But it is an epilogue over the credits with a time jump, and you can see that Kevin Kline is comfortable.
Yeah, living life. Okay, it's got every single gay stereotype that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I would say some sort of, I don't know about good ones, but like some sort of like, you know, less harmful ones. Like,
yeah, well, it's like, it's the Will Truman, is that his last name? Sure. Will ones from Will and Grace.
Will and Grace
it's those ones of like, he wears his shirts tucked in and he likes to dance and his hands do that floppy thing and he loves Barbra Streisand.
But then there's the like other ones, like that he, you know, can't be a teacher and that he, you know, just like hooks up with whoever in town.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then Joan Cusack is there. She's not the best friend as we would normally categorize her in this trope, but she's also not the romantic lead.
She's I mean, she's probably the closest thing he has to a best friend.
Probably, yeah, that's true. So,
yeah,
she's there playing Joan Cusack.
Yeah. Okay, Lindsay, does this movie pass the Bechdel test?
Yes, surprisingly.
Like,
after all of that,
on a technicality.
There's a lot of women in this movie, and there's a lot of nice scenes of side characters talking about what it means to have a gay person, and it's like, you know, it's very similar to a lot of things. It's like the first gay person they've ever experienced in their small town in the 90s. Yeah. So it's a lot of that, but regardless of that, there's a scene after the wedding is called off with all the old ladies sitting together, and they spill all their secrets, and it's very funny.
It might be the best scene of the whole movie.
I think one of them is about her husband having 3 testicles.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining.
It's great. Okay, shall we make a pie?
Yeah.
Okay, Barbra Streisand is like the uncredited third main character in this movie.
I don't know, like 60?
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's a lot.
Well, no, we gotta leave some for the end.
For their stuff. 50, yeah.
Okay, 50% Barbra Streisand.
40 for toxic masculinity, because it's a lot. When he's trying to convince himself that he's straight, he does this whole
like
how to be a man.
Yeah, and like it's
help
all about
tape,
like how to hold your hands and how to like stand and not how to like you know, be a responsible adult. I think 40% toxic masculinity, and I guess that kind of also ties in with the gay stereotypes. Is like also
exactly.
It's like the gay
opposites,
stereotypes, and then also the opposites of those. Then are the how to be a man.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah.
And then we've got, I guess, 10% left for all the theater kids who went on to be famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Indeed. Okay, what do we think's next for them? I guess not really like a couple, because...
Yeah, because it's unknown. So I hope that he is happy, and that he gets to keep his job, I guess, because the town seems to be fine with it. Bob Newhart was just kind of acting on his own, it seems like.
Or like his instinct or something.
Yeah.
But not like...
So I hope that they can appreciate him for who he is, and that the town becomes more inclusive.
Yeah, and maybe that he, like, I don't know, meets a nice man from the nearby town, kind of. Like, I don't know. I hope he just, like, has a happy life, whatever that means for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, Lindsay, what's next for us?
Oh, well, I'm assuming one that has better representation, because it was written and produced and made by a gay man.
Yep.
We're watching Bros, which I haven't seen, but I love Billy Eichner, so...
It's really funny. At least I remember it being funny. We'll find out if I still think it's funny in the context of this movie.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. You can always leave us a rating or a review wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find us on social media at Charts and Hearts Podcast on Instagram and Threads.
You can head to our website, chartsandhearts.com, where you can submit suggestions for rom-coms and tropes for us to add to the list. We are doing Pride Month, but we always welcome LGBTQIA movies, as well as with people with color, unlike this one. So if you have suggestions, let us know, because it is hard to find movies that are well represented of queer people and people of color in the rom-com genre. So send them our way. And also you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/chartsandheartsclub. This month for Pride, we're doing the half of it. I think that's what it's called, which we haven't watched yet, but it looks really cute. Some teens and feelings and some Cyrano plot lines. Yeah, should be fun.
We would love to know your thoughts on this movie, and in the meantime, Howard, we want you to know you're our son. We'll always love you. Gay, straight, red, green. If you rob a bank, if you kill someone, if you get drunk, climb a clock tower and take out the town. As long as you get married.
Oh, Debbie Reynolds.
I know. So great.
So great.
Okay, thanks, friends.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.